Hey guys, Dinosaur Jimin here. So today I am going to be doing an updated supplies I use video. So I'll be going through all of the obviously supplies that I use. So the sleeves, I'll show a couple of my binders and the binder pages as well. I'll kind of go through them and show you everything that I use. I've also got a few questions, which reminds me, I should probably get those questions. Yeah, so I've gotten a few questions on the supplies I use, so I'll kind of go through those as well. I asked those on my Instagram. Yeah, so I will do that. And my last one, a lot of people found helpful, so I just thought I'd do like an updated one because some things have changed that I've used. So yeah, let's get started. All right, so the first one I'm going to start with is a a two pocket page. Oh my gosh. So I'm going to start with the smallest amount of pockets and then we'll move up. So first, we have the two pocket page. So we have two different types here. The one on the right is the BCW one. Ultra Pro is the same as this, looks the same. The one on the left is Cosmic sleeves, European style A4 Cosmic sleeves. A4? I think it's A4. So these are bigger. As you can see, the inclusions that it can hold inside, move that up, there we go. The inclusions it can hold inside on the left here and the European ones are a lot bigger than what it can hold on the right here. I'm just going to put it on top so you can see the difference in size of what it can hold. So the end of the sleeve is here, cuts off. So the plus side of the Cosmic sleeves is that I like it better because it lays nice and flat in the binder. Unlike these, it's kind of clunky, a little chunky there. I don't know if you can see, but it kind of bubbles up a bit. You can hold bigger items in this one here as opposed to the Ultra Pro or BCW. The one thing that I do like about this over this is that it holds the smaller items so it doesn't kind of shift and move around, because these don't fit in these don't fit in three pocket pages. These are too big, and I don't think they fit in the four pocket page. I could be wrong, who knows, but I do like that they fit really well in here so they don't kind of slip around. So that's the one advantage that these ones have over these, but I do like these for the wide variety of items that you can hold. They're a lot wider. They fill out the binder, like they go from the ring to the end, whereas these kind of cut off and they're shorter, and then they kind of make the rest of your items, because the binder pages are longer, if you have a bunch of these, it can kind of bend the pages a little bit, if you know what I'm saying. But as for sleeves, to sleeve these items, sorry, my camera stopped for a sec. So as I was saying, as for actual sleeves, to protect these items, I haven't found ones that I like enough to recommend yet. Ones that fit these types of items. Right now, I just keep them in what they came in until I can find one that I like enough to recommend. I'm just going to leave it. But these are the pages I use. The one on the left here you can get on eBay. The most popular seller for these is Andy Jack. I'm sure you've heard of it or them. The one on the right here you can buy at any of your card game stores. You can buy on Amazon. You can buy pretty much anywhere, BCW or Ultra Pro. The one on the left is a little bit harder to find. They're more common in European shops and stuff like that. So those are the two pocket pages. So next I have here, these are both three pocket pages, obviously. I don't have the European ones for three pocket yet. They were still on the way as of the making of this video. So the one on the right here is a three pocket vertical, or V, and the one on the left is three pocket horizontal. So the difference between vertical and horizontal is just basically the direction in which the pockets are laid out basically. So these are more, they're longer this way, so then they're technically vertical. These are longer this way, so then they're horizontal. As you can see, there's two different types of items that you can put in here. So on the right here, these are great for the 4x6 photos that you get in like Blu-rays or season's greetings or stuff like that. They fit really well. It's great if you have some that are horizontally or landscape orientation and some that are portrait orientation. The one on the left here, this is great for things like bookmarks, standees, stuff like that. These fit the London and Sao Paulo bookmarks really, really nicely. As you can see, they also fit the Now 2 bookmarks. They fit the winter package, is it 2020? Winter package 2020 film strips really well as well. These on the left do come in the European Cosmic Sleeve size. I believe they're the same width. Let me just double check. They are a little tad bit shorter than the European ones would be. I believe the European ones would come out to about here-ish. So you would be able to fit something that's a little wider, which I think the London and Sao Paulo bookmarks are a tad bit wider, but they do fit really well in these 3-pocket widthwise. So these are really good for that. I was hoping to get my European ones in for this video so I could show you, but unfortunately I don't. But these are the two types of 3-pocket pages that you can get. The one on the right here I have not seen in the European style or size. Like the Cosmic pages, I have not seen this type of 3-pocket available in that as of yet. If you have seen it, please let me know, because I would be interested in seeing how those ones are too. But in the meantime, these Ultra Pros are pretty good, and I don't mind them. The only thing, like I mentioned before, that I don't like about them is that they're kind of bubbly. I don't know if that's the right word, but they're kind of like, the way that these pockets are sealed kind of makes them ripple a little bit, as you can see here. But other than that, they're pretty good, and I do like them. I just wanted to show you the difference between what, vertical and horizontal kind of looks like in these pages, because it's used a lot, those terms, in binder pages, especially when you're looking for specific binder pages. It makes it a lot easier to kind of get exactly what you're looking for when you know if it's vertical or horizontal. So these are what I use 3 pockets for. I don't have any sleeves yet as well for the 4x6s that I like. This one I picked up randomly, this sleeve. I am still on the hunt for sleeves that I like personally, because I do like thicker sleeves. I find that they protect the card a lot better than the thin ones. For 3-pocket ones, you can get ones that fit these. Oh, I forgot to mention, these also fit like the SLA long photo cards as well. So you can get sleeves that fit them, and they're called currency sleeves. So they're meant for like money, like bills is what these pages are for. And then the sleeves as well. Ultra Pro does make them. BCW does also make them. So they're just like kind of long and skinny. They fit in these sleeves. It's perfect. So if you're looking for something to kind of sleeve these types of items, I would use the currency sleeves. So those are my 3 pockets that I use. Onto the 4 pockets. There are 3 kinds of 4 pockets that I do use. So I'll just show you the 2 types of 4 pockets, and then I'll compare to the European and the Ultra Pro size. So these are the 2 different types of 4 pockets. So on the right here, we have the 4 pocket horizontal, and on the left, we have the 4 pocket vertical. This left one here is extremely popular, sells out all the time. Everybody's looking for it. Both of these are the Cosmic or Andy Jack sleeves that everyone in the collecting community likes to use. These ones, the reason why everyone goes after them is because they are a lot larger than the Ultra Pro or BCW sleeves. Like, they are taller, they are much wider, they fit larger items, which is really handy, especially in K-pop when we get a lot of these size items. The one on the left here is a new edition. I just got a small pack of them just to kind of test them out, and I do actually really like them. So this is a 4-pocket, and the reason I got these is because the 3-pocket was pretty large for items like this. It's kind of sliding around, so I thought that the 4-pocket would kind of, reduce the amount of sliding that these items do. And as you can see, I have the butter film strips here, and they fit really, really nicely in these pages. So they're about this wide here. They fit nicely and they're snug in there. I put the Persona standee. It does stick out a little bit, but so far there hasn't been any issues. The SLA, I will say, is a little bit wide for this pocket. It does still fit, but it's just a tad bit wide. Like, it just is flush with this pocket. So I would suggest keeping this in the 3-pocket horizontal as opposed to the 4-pocket, but it looks okay here for now. The one on the left here, the 4-pocket vertical, is perfect for items like postcards. Like you can see, I have this Taiwanese postcard here. This would not fit in the Ultra Pro or BCW ones. It just wouldn't. So any items that you have that don't fit in your Ultra Pro or BCW 4-pocket page will probably fit in this European style one. So I'm going to remove this, and I'll show you what the 4-pocket Ultra Pro looks like. So right here we have a 4-pocket Ultra Pro and a 4-pocket Cosmic sleeve or European sleeve. If I compare the two, like just right here in this pocket, you can kind of see the difference. If I line the holes up, you can kind of see the difference in size. So where one sleeve here, or where my fingers are, that's the width of one sleeve. You can see underneath that the width of the European sleeve is quite significantly bigger, and you can fit quite a lot more in it. And it's also a lot taller. So the end of this Ultra Pro sleeve is actually up here where my finger is. This is just a very short photo, but it's actually up here. But you still have this much room on the European one to kind of add a bigger item. So that is the difference, and that's why I really like these. Once again, they lay a lot nicer and flat in your binder if you have quite a few of them, whereas these kind of tend to bulk up your binder a lot quicker due to how they are sealed. I do actually have a couple sleeves that I can show you. So I'm going to remove this one because I don't have one, like I mentioned, for these really big items just yet. But, so these are both 4-pocket Ultra Pro, but they are both different size items in the pockets. So these two are the two that I found personally that work. I'll give a couple disclaimers. This one here fits very nicely, fits perfectly, is really nice thickness, but they are matte, and I'm not too sure that I like that. I haven't found one that's the right size that isn't matte. So I'm still on the lookout, but I do want to show you the size of this and how it fits. The one on the left here, these postcard sleeves. These are the right size for these larger 4-pocket inclusions. I say larger, not as large as the other ones that I showed you, but they're approximately 3.5 by 5, something like that, 5 3/4. So they're a bit bigger. These ones here are approximately 3 by 5.5, I believe. I measured everything before I bought it, so these are 3.5 inches by 5. So 3.5 by 5, and then these ones are 3.5 by 5.5. So these are 1/2 inch longer than these ones. It's about the only difference. The one thing I will say about these postcard soft sleeves is that they are thin, and I don't like thin sleeves. So I'm still looking for one that works better than these, but for now, these will do. So both of these are PVC free, acid free. I'll start with this side. So it comes like this. And if you're looking in millimeters, the size is 85 millimeters by 120 millimeters for this. I'll take one out. So as you can see, both sides of this are matte. I'll just sleeve it here. Oh, that is the wrong one. Here. So that's what it looks like. You can see for the shorter one, we have a little bit here. So that's what it looks like. One thing I don't mind about having a longer sleeve than the item is just that it fills the pocket page. I've talked about this in my last video. It fills the pocket page and prevents sliding. So that's not going to move around really much. So that's what it looks like. This one, I was mistaken. So what I use this for are items like this. So this is the Persona postcard, and it measures 80 millimeters by 120 millimeters, which translate into inches as 3¼ inches by 4¾ inches. So a bit smaller. These can also still be stored in your 4-pocket Ultra Pro page, like so. And this is a sleeve, fits really well. These, I believe, will also fit your broadcast photo cards. So that's what it looks like there. So I pulled out one of my broadcast photo cards, and this is the reason why I purchased these sleeves here, was because I wanted something that fit my broadcast cards better. So as we can see, fits pretty much perfectly in the broadcast card. That's what it looks like. There's not much overhang, and it fits perfectly widthwise as well. The only thing is it's matte. It doesn't really hinder that much, as you can see from the picture. It doesn't really like cloud it much. It's just what they call it is an anti-glare coating, which makes it matte. So because it's not shiny, the light won't glare off of it as much. It's not too bad, but the fit is perfect. So until I can find one that is absolutely clear, I will probably be using these for all of my broadcast cards and my mini postcards. So I normally put these in my 4-pocket page like that. So what you could do if you don't want your broadcast card or mini postcard to slide around, what you can do is take this larger postcard sleeve like so. And I would suggest with these bigger sleeves to put the opening side up instead of down. So the first inner sleeve like this, you could put it downwards, and then the bigger ones have the opening facing up. Then you can place it in the middle like so. It's in the middle like that, and we can put it into the pocket. And then what that does, so the reason you want the bigger sleeve facing the opening facing upwards towards the opening of the pocket is because it will trap air inside the bigger sleeve, and if it's facing down, it will create a bubble inside the sleeve, and there's a lot of air trapped, and it'll be hard to kind of get that out. But if you have it facing upwards, you can just press the air out and it will easily come out. So what this bigger sleeve will do will kind of hold this smaller postcard broadcast card in place, so it doesn't kind of shift like this. It shouldn't really shift much around. It will shift up, there you go, but it shouldn't really shift side to side as you're flipping your pages, because you have something holding it in there. And the matte of the sleeve inside, the inner sleeve, will kind of keep it from shifting, because the matte tends to be grippier than clear for obvious reasons. So there you go. If you are looking for something that fits broadcast cards perfectly, you'll want to get a sleeve. These are the brand is Board Game Sleeves, pretty generic. And the size is 85 millimeters by 120 millimeters if you're looking for that. So that's what to look out for. These bigger sized postcards. So these are all going to be kind of BTS specific, if you haven't already noticed, because that's who I collect. So for the photos, Big Hit usually prints them all pretty much the same size for these kind of photo-like inclusions, like Butterfly Dream and all that kind of stuff. And for postcards, they're usually a little bit bigger. So as you can see, this fits really nicely in there. There's not much overhang as opposed to these photos. Put that in. See, I don't like how it slides up. I wish these were thicker. And there's that bubble I was talking about here. You can kind of see. So what you have to do is kind of push down first and push up and get everything released out of there. There. Now it sits flat. So this is what it looks like. So this bottom right one here has the sleeve inside and none of these do. It creates a little more glare than the other ones, but it's not too bad. But those are the 4 pockets. And then this is the 4 pocket European or Andy Jack one. And then the 4 pocket horizontal one. So these are all the options you have for 4 pockets, depending on what you like, the kind of look you like, how you like it to fit. I've mentioned this before. I personally like my items to fit as snug as possible in each pocket. So I do use a combination of the Ultra Pro, the Andy Jack, and the horizontal to kind of make sure I get the correct fit for whatever item that I'm placing in there, because I don't like having things shift around. So whatever you like, these are the options for you if you want something that's a 4 pocket. One thing before I move on from the 4 pocket, one of the questions I was asked was, how do the 4x6 photos fit the 4 pocket Andy Jack pages when sleeved? Now, I can't answer the when sleeved portion because personally I don't have sleeves that fit at the moment, but I can show you what they look like in here. So this is a 4x6 photo, and this is placed in an Andy Jack sleeve. As you can see, it is sticking out of the top right here. If you can you see that? I think you can. Yeah, you can see that there. So it does stick out quite a bit. So I don't recommend putting 4x6 photos in a 4 pocket page by Andy Jack or the Cosmic pages. These would need to be in a 3 pocket page. 3 pocket vertical page, like I showed earlier. That's what they fit into. They will not fit into these Andy Jack 4 pocket pages. You won't be able to fit them in there, unsleeved or sleeved. They're just too tall for these size pockets. So next I'm moving on to 6 pocket pages, and I use these for a variety of items, and I'll show you. So this is a 6 pocket horizontal page. So you know, it has 2, 4, 6. The things you can use this for are these part 1 photo cards, Young Forever photo cards. I'll give you a couple of other examples here. So these are also what I use the 6 pocket horizontal pages for. These square photos, these film photos. I also use them for the Fifth Muster Moodlight photo cards. They fit in these as well. Anything kind of like squarish should fit. There are a couple instances where they don't fit, but yes, for the most part, these kind of square photo cards do fit in here. For these square photos, I actually have them sleeved, as you can see, and I use these. So these are 85 by 85 sleeves by Swan Sleeves. The only downside is that they are thin. Will it focus? They are thin. They do not come in the thick ones. Unfortunately, I have yet to find thick ones. But if you are looking for something that can fit these, Swan Sleeve does have 85 by 85. I believe you can find 85 by 85 millimeters square sleeves in Mayday sleeves or Paladin sleeves. I can't remember which one, but I believe they have square now. They didn't before when I was looking. So if you are looking for these, specifically for these types, because they are more expensive, I would suggest looking at Mayday sleeves and looking for 85 by 85 millimeter sleeves. For these ones, I haven't found sleeves that work yet, but you know, you can always do what I'm doing here and measure the photo card and then search up the millimeter measurement. So these are 90 by 90. So if you are looking for stuff for this, you can just look for 90 by 90. Normally, the measurements listed on the front of sleeves indicate the size of card that fit into it, not the size of these actual sleeves. So that's what I use these for. There are another type of 6-pocket page. They are the vertical 6-pocket page. So this is what they look like, and I use them for things like these tickets. I use them for guest book photo cards from 5th Muster. I use them as cloud card photo cards from 4th Muster. I also use these for the Wings Tour concept book lenticulars. They fit in really nicely. I use these in my collab binder for barbecue photo cards, which are a little too long for 9-pocket, a little too wide for 8-pocket. So I use these. These work really well. Yeah, you can use them for a variety of things. They kind of work. So one of the other questions that I received on my Instagram was, where is it? Did you sleeve the holo tickets from Mott's One DVD? What sleeve did you use? So as you can see, I did not sleeve them. The reason I didn't sleeve them is because if I did, they would not fit in here. I believe if you did want to sleeve them, you could probably use these taro sleeves. They don't look to be long enough. As you can see, they're not long enough, but they probably would fit the width of these, and they would just stick out a little bit. But any taro card sleeves, a bunch of different brands make them. So this is Paladin, and the reason I like Paladin is because they're very thick sleeves, and most of the ones they make are very thick. So the measurements that you want for taro cards are 70 by 120, and these would also fit things like I mentioned before, the guest book photo cards, the cloud cards, things like that. So they should all fit in these taro size sleeves. One other thing to note, if you are like me and like thicker sleeves, how you can usually tell is it will have a lesser amount of sleeves per pack. Focus. So this one has 55. A normal pack usually has approximately 100 sleeves per pack, and those are going to be thin, like these. So like these, you can tell these have 100 in a pack. They're thin. These have 55. They're about the same thickness. So that's how you can tell something is going to be a lot thicker. So I always usually go for the ones with approximately 50 in a pack, and then I know that they're going to be thicker than normal. So that's what they look like. We have the 6-pocket horizontal, the 6-pocket vertical. These are all the types of photo cards you can use in each of these pockets. So this is what pretty much everybody asks me about. 8-pocket pages, tour mini photo cards. This is the hands down what I get asked the most about on how to sleeve, what binder pages and stuff like that, because they're such a weird size. So Ultra Pro / BCW, they do make an 8-pocket page as well, but I really advise against using them for tour mini PCs because they're not as wide as these pockets, and they are a little harder to get in, so you risk damaging or bending your photo cards when you try and shove them into a pocket or a page that is just fitting or a tiny bit smaller than the card. It will warp or bend the card. So I really highly advise against doing that. So these are the Cosmic pages, the 8 pockets. They sell out so quickly everywhere, but I do really recommend this. So I will show you also a variety of sleeves that I use for these. And I actually now have a bunch of sleeves that I can recommend to you guys. So the first one here, these are Paladin Chrono sleeves. I've mentioned them in my last video. I was recommended these by another YouTuber, Nyan Nyan Yoongi. They actually put me onto these and I'm so glad. So once again, we have the 55 amount, so I know they're thick. The size, if you're looking for, that works for these is 70 millimeters by 100 millimeters. That's the perfect size for tour mini photo cards. So this is a Paladin sleeve. It's really nice and thick and sturdy. And if I put the photo card in, slides in really nicely. One thing I hate is when you get a photo card that should fit and you have to really shove it in there and it's really tight. Don't like that. I really want the photo card to be able to slide in and out really nicely, so nothing is getting accidentally bent or damaged as you're trying to like force it in. Another thing is I am way too lazy to cut my sleeves myself. I have too many to go through. I don't have the time to sit there and cut down sleeves to the proper length. Some people do that, and if you are one, you know, awesome. A lot of people will get these taro sleeves that are the right width, which is 70 millimeters, as you can see here. So they're both 70. The taro sleeves is 120, whereas the Chronos is 100. So they'll just kind of cut off 20 millimeters off these ones, which are more readily available in more brands, and use that. Which, I mean, if that works for you, awesome, but that doesn't work for me. So now that it's sleeved, as you can see, we'll put it on this side so you can see better. Very, very minimal overhang on here. The perfect amount. There's nothing too much there, nothing to cut off. That's what it looks like. Fits really well. Putting it in the sleeve still fits really well. Easily put in, easily taken out. So I would really suggest these, but they are sold out everywhere now. So they're very hard to get. But I have done research and I've looked around and I actually found a couple other options for you if you are struggling to find these. So let's take another one out. Okay, another option, I was sent these by this Prism Platinum company. They actually are a small business and they specialize in making mini tour PCs, not mini tour PCs, mini tour sleeves, PC sleeves, and all different types of sizes of sleeves. And they also started making pages and they even have a photo card binder now. So they are also an army and they collect as well, so they kind of know the struggle. So I mean, if you're interested in that, this is also another option. So they sent me these. They actually sent me 2 packs. Let me find the other one. So we have mini tour photo card sleeves and premium mini tour photo card sleeves. I'm gonna show both of these. So this is the mini tour. And this is the premium. Just by feeling it, I already know that I like the premium better than the regular just mini tour. So this is the difference. If I just do this, I don't know if you can see, the one on the right here is a lot thinner than the one on the left just by doing this. So I will sleeve both of them and I will show you. They fit really nicely on the card. You're not forcing it in, which is nice. Let's take this off. And then this is the premium one. Once again, fits really nicely. You don't have to force it in there. Really nice. So personally, I love this premium mini tour photo card sleeve. Just the thickness of it is really nice. This mini tour one also isn't bad. It's just a personal preference that I like my sleeves thicker than normal. If you like them thinner than normal, then definitely get the mini tour. These ones here, not the premium, get these ones. Yeah, it's really, they're both really nice. So these ones aren't thin by any means. It's not like the Ultra Pro standard ones. They're not that thin. They are still thicker than those ones, but these premium ones are just super thick and I'm in love with them. So getting all 3 of these. So the 2 on the left here are Prism Platinum. The one on the right here is Paladin sleeves. Looking at glare and all that, they all kind of look pretty much the same. The feel of them. So this one obviously is the thinnest in terms of the sleeve. And I can't tell from these 2 which one's thinner. So that's the Prism Platinum. I would actually say that the Prism Platinum Premium Mini Tour photo card sleeve is thicker than the Paladin one. Yeah, so this one is medium thickness, and this one is the thickest. So these are kind of some extra options for you if you're looking for mini tour PCs. This is my recommendation because I don't like cutting down sleeves. It's too much work for me. I don't want to do that. You know, I don't like sleeves that are too narrow and you're shoving them in and risk bending them. So personally, like, my recommendation would either be going with the Paladin or the Premium Mini Tour photo card sleeves from Prism Platinum. I will leave a link in the description for, I will try to leave links in the description for everything, but it's really not possible because everyone lives in different countries. I live in Canada. I don't have a lot of US, you know, links and stuff that work for me, so I will try my best to leave as many links as possible. I will definitely be linking Prism Platinum because these Premium Mini Tour photo card sleeves are just amazing and I am already in love with them. I'm probably going to be picking some up after making this video. But yeah, this is what it looks like. I'm going to put them into this photo card binder page to kind of see how they fit in there. So this is number 1, and this is the thinnest one here, and fits really well, slides really nicely. This is the Paladin, this one right here. Again, fits perfectly, nothing really sticking out. And then this is this one right here, the Premium. Yeah, so they all fit. They're all pretty much the same size. Not really much difference other than the thickness of the actual sleeves. So it's really personal preference on what you decide to get based on the thickness. But size-wise, all of these work. If you're looking for something cheap, because honestly, these are not like super cheap at all. If you're looking for something cheap to use when you're, you know, packaging trades and sales, but still safe for your photo cards, I have a couple options here. So Swan Sleeves makes, if you go on their site, they make a whole bunch. So these are thick, and they're 74 by 105. So you can use these, and they will fit your tour mini PCs. They are a little bit bigger, but they're a bit cheaper. So they fit really well. They'll fit in there for you to package your photo cards in. So they look like there's a bit more overhang here than normal. There's more overhang than these ones, but that's also an option. One other thing that I'd like to point out while we're talking about mini tour PCs is top loaders. Now, when you're making trades and sales and you're packaging these, if you use a top loader where the photo card sticks out of the top, let's see if I can find an example. Okay, I do not have an example, but I will show you. So let's take this out. So you're packaging a photo card and you put one in here. And when you put it in, a lot of the times your photo card will stick out like this because the regular 3x4 photo cards are not meant for these tour size, right? So these tour size are a little longer and they'll stick out like this. If that's the case, don't just put it in an envelope, in a card, seal it, and it's done, because it will bend and it will damage the card, and the person that you're sending it to will receive a damaged card. One way to prevent this is it's as simple as taking a post-it note and folding that post-it note over this side, so whatever's sticking out is protected that way, and then you can tape it on. You can also, you know, buy top loaders that are a little bigger. And speaking of that, this is one that's a little bigger. So these are, please focus, focus, focus. So these are vintage sized top loaders from Ultra Pro. They are a tiny bit bigger than your regular 3x4 top loaders. And as you can see, if I push this in, this mini tour photo card fits absolutely perfectly in this top loader, and all I need to do is seal the top with some tape so it doesn't slip out, and then I can package this. So that's what it looks like. Fits really well. Now I will mention that these vintage size top loaders are very difficult to come by, and they do sell out very quickly. So if you do see them somewhere, definitely snatch up a few boxes of them, whatever, because you probably won't find them again when you go back. But they are a bit harder to find, but usually you can find them in your local game store. Anywhere that sells like collectible cards or supplies or games or anything like that usually will have a stock of these. If not, you can actually ask them to order them for you, and they should be able to do that. So there's your lesson, how to package, and packing supplies in addition to collection supplies, because you know they kind of do go hand in hand, because if you are collecting, more likely than not you are going to be packaging stuff for trades and sales anyways. So there you go. But this is my recommendation for your 8-pocket page. Either we have these, this is my number one recommendation here. We have the Paladin Chronos, and we have the Prism Platinum Premium Mini Tour Photo Card Sleeves. Both, of course, PVC and acid free, safe for photo cards and archival safe. So yeah, those are my choices for 8-pocket mini tour photo cards. Okay, last but not least are these 9-pocket pages. So in my collection, I use 2 types. I use the ones on the right here, which are the mini 9 pockets, or also called yugioh size sleeves. And then on the right, these are the I can't talk now. These are the European or cosmic sleeves, or Andy Jack sleeves, whatever you want to call them. So they fit 2 different sizes of photo cards. So the one on the right here fits like Korean standard album photo cards or anything that same size. So the standard smaller 9-pocket size photo cards, and the one on the right fits bigger photo cards. I can kind of compare sizes here so you can see. So this is a standard size, this is a little bigger. We put them here. So the one underneath is wider, would not fit into this one. So I don't know if you can see here, but each pocket actually has 2 sealing lines as opposed to 1. So it makes each pocket thinner, or I don't want to say thinner, narrower than your regular 9-pocket page. So I use these because I don't like, I've mentioned this many times now, but I don't like my cards to slide around. So that's why I use these. This one here, as you can see, only has the 1 separating line in between each pocket, so they're wider. So they fit photo cards that are a little wider than your average or standard size album photo card size, but still fit in my pocket. So now to go with these sleeves, I actually use different sized, to go with the pages, I use different size sleeves. So obviously if these photo cards are wider than these, the sleeves I use for these will not fit in these because these are narrower size pockets. So there are multiple that I use. So the two main ones that I use are both Ultra Pro. So the one on the right here, this is what I use. It's Ultra Pro, and again we can see it's 50, so it's thicker. Make sure it's focusing. Can we focus, please? Please, can we focus? Yeah. So it's called Ultra Pro board game sleeves. Standard American. It's size for standard American gaming cards. And the size is 56 millimeters by 87 millimeters. And that's what fits these Yu-Gi-Oh size pages perfectly. So I use those. So this is what it looks like in the sleeve. There. I don't know why it focuses on this side of the screen only, but that's what the sleeve looks like. Fits really well. Fits lengthwise and widthwise perfectly. If you don't want to use these pages, you can also use these sleeves to double sleeve your PCs. The ones on the left here, these are also Ultra Pro. They are matte deck protector sleeves. Please work there. So these come in 100 a pack, but they're actually 2 packs. So they're 2 packs of 50. So they are thicker than regular. Please work. So they are standard 66 by 91 millimeters. And as it shows, they are matte, but they're only matte on one side. Okay. So this is what they look like. So one side is shiny, one side's matte. It does have the Ultra Pro little logo, but it thankfully is on the back, so you don't see it when you sleeve your cards. So this is what the matte sleeve looks like. So as you can see, one side is shiny and clear. The back side is matte. And the reason I like these is because it prevents slippage within the pocket. The matte, I mentioned this earlier again, the matte kind of has a bit more grip than a shiny pocket. So having both really is nice. So it kind of helps keep the PC in place, like so. And I mentioned before, if you don't want to use these types of pages that I use, you just want to use these regular 9 pocket, you can use these mini sleeves to double sleeve your photo card. I'll show you, like so. So if you wanted to extra protect your photo cards, you could do that and double sleeve them. Another option. But this is what I use and this is what I like. I've found recently that these sleeves that I normally buy, these Ultra Pro sleeves, are getting very difficult to find. They're sold out everywhere, can't find them anywhere. It's being really difficult for me to find them. So recently I did find a different kind. These are Mayday Games sleeves. I got the ones, obviously, I have said this multiple times, these ones are 125% thicker. It's a 50 pack. They're about the same size as the Ultra Pro ones, and we're going to test them now. So right off the bat, they do feel very thick. So I'm going to take this card out of the sleeve. So on the right here, we have the Mayday Games. This is the Ultra Pro. And, you know, the Ultra Pro does feel thicker than the Mayday Games, but these are also pretty nice and thick. And they do fit really well in there as well. And they fit great in the sleeve. Now, the only downside is obviously that the Ultra Pro ones that I normally use are thicker, but the Mayday Games ones is also very thick. So that's another option if you're looking for these mini or Yu-Gi-Oh size sleeves that you can use in these pages. The Mayday Games sleeves is another option. You can find these online at any card game store or card game supply or collections supply site or store. You can also find these at game stores, at your local game stores. You can find them like anywhere that sells card collectibles and stuff like that, you should find it. If you cannot find it, you can do what I did, and I asked someone who worked there, and they ordered them for me specifically because I was looking for these and they didn't have them, and they tried to order these for me and they weren't able to. So they found another one that was the same size for me, 56 by 87 56 by 87 millimeters, as it says right here. So they found another one, and I said I only want really thick ones, so they were able to find the Mayday ones that said they were 125% thicker. So yeah, just if you're not able to find what you want right off the bat, just talk to someone who works there and see if they're able to order anything in for you specifically that you're looking for. So that is another option, and I bought a few of these to keep me tied over until the Ultra Pro ones come back in stock. So that's what this looks like. I had a question about these. It says, do you know where I can get the Ultra Pro 9 Pocket Yu-Gi-Oh? They're currently out of stock on the Ultra Pro site. Like I mentioned earlier, I put the link in my last video for these for the Ultra Pro site, but that's not where I buy them. I buy these from my local game store, my local collectible board game card game store that I was talking about. That's where I buy these individually. I could also buy like a pack, like 100 pack, whatever, but that's too much for me, so I just buy them individually. Just go to your local store and ask them for these. Take a picture of what you're looking for, get the dimensions, get the correct name that they go by, which these would be like Yu-Gi-Oh sleeves, or mini 9 pocket sleeves is what these called. So I would go there and ask for them specifically, see if they can order them in for you. That's what I would do. That's probably the cheapest way too, because they won't charge you for shipping if they're ordering it to their store. And then you can get them for individually, or however many packs, whatever you want. So that's what I would do for these, because Ultra Pro has not had a lot in stock recently, unfortunately. But these are the two that I use. This is what I use them for. So anything that is this size, these standard DVD PCs, Korean album photo card piece. Well, that didn't make sense. Korean album photo cards, I use these ones. Japanese ones, I have a sleeve here. I also use these mini 9 pocket just because, they fit nicely in there and I like them. And then anything that's a little bigger and stuff like that, I use these. So that is all of the supplies that I use in my binders. Now for my actual binders, I use Amazon Basics white binders. I use they're called heavy duty D-rings, and what makes them heavy duty is basically this one touch open. That's heavy duty, that's what it's called. And I use a D-ring because it holds a lot more than a regular O-ring. So I got these in 2-inch and 3 inches, and I use those depending on how much items are in each binder. So this is a 2-inch binder. My Japanese binder and my collab binder, they're 3 inches. So yeah, that's all I use. As you can see, if I go to the very end, it just says Amazon Basics right here. So just go on Amazon and search. What did I search? 2-inch heavy duty D-ring binder, or 3-inch heavy duty D-ring binder, whatever. And that's it. That's all I do. I find that these are a lot nicer and I like them a lot better than some of the other binders I've tried. So these are the ones that I would recommend. And with that, that is everything that I wanted to show. If you have any additional questions that I didn't go over anything, or I skipped something, I forgot, which is highly possible, please leave a comment down below. I will try and answer as many questions as I can. Once again, if you're looking for a specific item, you need help looking for it, just let me know. I'll try my best to help you find what you're looking for. I'll leave as many links as possible, but like I mentioned earlier, things are sold out everywhere. It's very difficult to find supplies nowadays with everyone looking for the exact same thing. Your best bet, like I mentioned, was to go to your local store and ask them. But yeah, if you have any questions or anything like that, please leave them down below and I'll try my best. So thank you again for watching and have a great day. Bye.